All right, hey guys, I'm here with La-Verne Parris. How you doing, La-Verne?
Great. Hi, Matt.
Hi, La-Verne is a certified life coach, and what got me interested in her is that I noticed that she co-authored this book called The Wellness Code, and I wanted to ask her. This is a best-selling book, and I wanted to ask her how she got the opportunity to co-author that, and what that's led to professionally in terms of what that's led to. So yeah, let's get started. Like, how did this opportunity come about?
Okay, well, once I did the Nesta program with John Spencer Ellis, I received an opportunity through Dixon Nanton Agency to co-author the Wellness Code. And that opportunity really changed things for me because not only did it open other doors, but it allowed me to look deeper into myself, my purpose as a coach, and to share my writing. And I find that through writing, I'm able to identify specific issues within myself first, because I'm always coaching myself first, and also understand and develop better coping skills. So that book itself, it's more than just a chapter or a book. It's really a way to start the healing process, I feel,
Mm,
for not only my clients, but for myself.
interesting, because we don't usually hear like the importance of writing as a tool for coaches to use to like learn about themselves and also to kind of help coach themselves. And so how important is it for coaches to write?
For me, I can speak for myself because I've always grown up writing. I was always keeping a journal. I write poetry. So for me, writing has always been a way for me to tap into deeper feelings and identify deeper issues within myself and others. It allows me to organize my thoughts and feelings because I find that with so many clients, with so many individuals, as human beings, so many times our emotions get jumbled together. And it's challenging to separate each emotion, each issue with whatever's happening in our lives. So with the writing, I find that creating graphic organizers is what we call in education, or charts, is a way to structure thoughts. Because once our thoughts are organized, we can then proceed to deal with our feelings
Mm,
that are associated with these thoughts. And then go back and revisit these thoughts and change them, improve them,
mm,
and really make them more manageable and a way to overcome, as opposed to constantly feeling overwhelmed. Because I find that when I'm overwhelmed, when my clients are overwhelmed, it's because we haven't identified what it is we're actually dealing with and
mm.
separated out each issue.
Yeah, that's such a good way of framing like writing as a way to understand what your situation is and kind of understand what your thoughts and feelings are so that you can then use that as a way to like begin the change process. And I feel
Mhm.
like it's just not really talked about in the coaching world how writing can be such a skill to uncover what's going on, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and then have that be like the base for change. So super cool. In my own life, like I definitely resonate with what you're saying. Just using journaling as like whether it's a daily or weekly process to uncover, to finally sit down and be like, all right, this is how I'm feeling about these 8 areas of my life, and this is what I'm gonna do in light of knowing this is how I feel. So it's been really helpful for me as well. Um, what is dandelion dreams?
Oh, that's my chapter
Okay.
in the Wellness Code,
Mm-hmm.
chapter 6.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's really about my first client and how she overcame crippling anxiety, severe panic attacks that were all associated with ending a 17-year off and on relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and her journey from there to becoming an internationally acclaimed author, one of the best professors at her university, and someone who is on her path, literally fulfilling her dreams and goals.
Mm,
So the title really comes from the fact that no matter what we're dealing with, we can break through these barriers. And dandelions, which they're beautiful, but they're weeds, right?
mhm.
And they can push literally through concrete and grow through cracks and bloom. So the metaphor is that whatever we're going through, whatever obstacle or barrier we're facing, on the other side of that is a flower. We're growing, we're blossoming, and we're getting stronger because it's not easy to break through concrete. We
Mm,
are getting stronger. Sometimes when we're going through difficulties, because they can feel so challenging, we don't feel how strong we are. We're only focusing on, okay, this task is challenging or this person is challenging, but at the same time, we're developing skills. And I think, as in fact, I'm certain we need to keep track of these skills or these areas that we are growing in so that we're not only focusing on the challenge, that we're
mm,
also focusing on how much we've changed, what new skills we've developed. A certain aspect of our personality might no longer be as abrasive or anything, but just something positive because no matter what we're going through, and we all go through certain challenges, I really do believe that after or during that challenge, we are becoming better. It's just that we have to foster that improvement and acknowledge it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like an inspiring story of your client's experience and just the growth and change process. So yeah, it sounds like a very inspiring chapter. And is the whole book about stories like that?
For the most part, I mean, they're either about a certain client overcoming or people, coaches within themselves identifying areas in their clients that have improved, as well as certain steps towards actualization that people can take.
Mhm.
So the whole book is really geared toward taking steps in your own life, um, to acknowledge your growth and how to continue growing.
Mm. And what exactly is 10 Steps to Serenity?
Okay, these are 10 steps that I actually developed while I was going through a very challenging time, a very difficult breakup. And I came up with these steps because I had to find a way to not only keep going, but to see that as an opportunity for my own development
Mhm.
and be happy. I didn't want to keep dwelling on what I had lost. I really wanted to see past that and get to the next chapter in my life. So I started thinking about, well, what do I need? What's going to make this easier for me?
Mhm.
And how can I help other people who suffered a loss? Because no matter what, a loss is a loss. And we all grieve differently, but we all feel pain. So the pain I felt at that time, I knew that the first step, I had to be compassionate with myself
Mhm.
and love myself unconditionally and understand that, yes, I missed him and it was difficult, but I have to let myself go through that and not judge myself for missing someone who, at that time, perhaps didn't treat me as well as I wanted to be. So much of growth is not just about forgiving others, but forgiving ourselves
Mm.
because we're not perfect. We make mistakes, or maybe we attract or we're with people who don't bring out our best. But the only way to change that is to first forgive.
Mm.
So that first step was the key.
Gotcha. Interesting. And in terms of you actually getting the book published and you becoming like, the co-author of a best-selling book, what has that done in terms of perception and like how people see you, and also like how you feel about that,
Mhm.
and what has that given you?
It's given me a feeling and a sense of completion, but it's also given me a feeling of wanting to do more.
Yeah.
So in that sense, that part is finished. And it's prompted me to start other projects, other writing projects. I'm working on a series of handbooks. Um, I have, right now, I'm working on two collaborations, one with an attorney, and actually, they're both with attorneys, but one specifically is geared towards attorneys at firms, and the other one is geared towards divorce. So, how I can provide my services in other venues. And it's also shown me that there's still, at least I feel, nothing more powerful than the written word.
Mm,
And that the written word can have so many different interpretations. It can affect so many people differently. Um, for example, my client, when I showed her the chapter, when she read it and she looked back on her growth, she even said, "I can't believe this was me."
mm.
So in some ways, the written word also serves as a time marker.
Ah, that's so true. Yeah, that's such an interesting thing because if I look back from when I hired a first coach, I still have the emails of the back and forth, and I feel like it would be so shocking and kind of revealing to see what I was thinking at that time and how different I am now. But it would be very like eye opening too. You know what's interesting about you is a lot of coaches emphasize the power of speaking and the power of kind of the speech, but you are uniquely emphasizing like the writing element, like how important text is in writing. And I think that you have a strong point is that coaching doesn't just have to happen through speech, but writing can be a tool to uncover to for coaching as well. So that's definitely really interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about your process of writing and how that relates to coaching?
Oh, yes, definitely. As it relates to coaching, well, whenever I meet with a client, not only am I listening and engaging, but I'm always writing because certain things will ring true or trigger a reaction, and I gain insight into my client's thoughts. So while they're discussing their issues with me, I'm actually creating a tool or a chart where on one side might be issues that they've identified, and then on the other side might be triggers that they need to be aware of,
Hmm.
um, and also specific solutions they might want to try. So, in speaking with my clients, I'm able to understand their thought process and what emotions they might be associating with certain tasks, certain people, certain circumstances in their lives. So, with the writing, it's really a way of me to get deeper into my client's psyche.
That's really interesting. So, do your clients do a bunch of different writing exercises?
Yes, so after we meet and I've drafted the specific tool, I will then, go home and actually type it up, create an email with the tool and say, this is your self awareness assignment, or it could be their actualization assignment, depending on what the goal is. And I need you to work on this for consistently, I would say 1 to 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Keep track of the events, the circumstances, and then when we reconvene, let's go through how you use the tool, what you noticed about yourself while using the tool, and finally, how did this help you organize your thoughts and
Hmm.
change your own self talk? Because really, the issue that I find with um, most people either are dealing with some form of anxiety or some form of depression, and they don't have to be severe or extreme, and they might be, but both of those emotions always return to, how am I thinking about myself?
Oh yeah,
How am
definitely.
I feeling about myself? What am I saying to myself? So when my clients use these tools, they then become aware of, oh, I really say this to myself? Am I feeling that negatively about myself? So it's a way to monitor our own thoughts and change them.
Mm. Yeah, that's really interesting and kind of a really important lesson for coaches to take advantage of writing tools and processes to understand their clients more and just to uncover certain things that you can't really uncover through speech. Um, so yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for the lesson there. If someone wants to get in touch with you, how could they do that?
Oh, my email,
Hmm.
which is lvparis at
Hmm.
yahoo.com, or I have Twitter
Okay.
at Laverne63, as well as LinkedIn. And I have a website, laverneparisLifecoach.com.
Awesome, and I'll include a link to those links in this post. So thank you so much, Laverne, for
Oh, my
sharing all
pleasure.
this information. Yeah, it's really great to talk to you again, and let's keep in touch.
Definitely, Matt. Thank you so much.